Egyptians awoke Saturday morning to the aftermath of Friday's violent protests. The headquarters of the ruling party and other buildings were still ablaze, and police were nowhere to be seen, their vehicles and stations destroyed. This is Stephen Farrell for the New York Times on the rubble-covered streets of central Cairo, which feel less like the day after a protest and more like a brief pause. President Hosni Mubarak's regime is still there, but its authority has been openly flouted.
This is the Sayyid Zainab police station. It's still smoldering. The focus of people's anger seems to have been government buildings like this. We just drove through the downtown. All the shops were fine. Some of them were starting to open. So people seem to be after police stations, government buildings, and those are the buildings that the tanks are protecting now.
Protecting only up to a point. This man with the blue pole had ill intent towards a police car. That was mid-morning. 2 hours later, crowds were already gathering on the overpasses as they had the day before, looking for trouble like a spectator sport. By then the mood was already more tense, with a full protest march underway.
It's midday in Cairo's central Tahrir Square, and the Egyptian police are nowhere to be found. Fire continues to burn at the ruling National Democratic Party headquarters, and anti-government graffiti adorns the walls of the Egyptian Museum behind me. The crowds here are chanting anti-government slogans, and the army has been called onto the streets. But neither the protesters nor the army seem very concerned with each other.
النظام لا يقبل إلا قانون الطوارئ، قانون الإرهاب. أين النظام وأين الديمقراطية في غلو الأسعار أكل المعيشة.
As Cairo took stock, tourists were still on the streets, mingling with equally astonished Egyptians.
Yesterday there were hundreds of policemen armed and so on, and now they are zero. They have disappeared.
As the 4 p.m. curfew neared, shots could be heard on the streets and some buildings were still burning. Egyptians didn't know what to expect next. There had been nothing like it in recent memory.